friend of mine, he grabs me at church one time and says, Hazen, there's a witch in my building. I said, what? Yeah, there's a witch. So you got to come fix it. I don't know what he's wanting me to do.
Hey everyone, it's your apologetics guy, Mikel. How do you begin to talk to someone from a different religion? I actually hosted an event on this topic with Tim Yoder, who teaches apologetics here on campus. But then we invited Craig Hazen to join us on the Table podcast right up there. And in this video, I want you to see what he told us about his encounter with a real-life witch and how you can challenge ideas while still being kind in a conversation with someone from a different religion. So check out this clip on apologetics as conversation.
Let me focus on this, and that's just dealing in general with people from different faiths that you encounter. I often try to inculcate into my students and other people I know in the Christian faith to really be great listeners. And then after you listen for a good length of time, your conversation partner always feels like you get an opportunity now to say something. Right. And of course, being a good listener accomplishes two things. Number one, you get to show the person that you really care about them. I mean, I'm listening to you very carefully. I want to know what you think, and that's very affirming. But secondly, it also gives you an opportunity to gather intel, to gather some information, to ask some tough questions. And I think this kind of Socratic method where you listen for a while, and then you ask a couple of key questions. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, he grabs me at church one time and says, Hazen, there's a witch in my building. I said, what? Yeah, there's a witch. That's what she claims. I mean, she dresses real earthy, and it's all kind of weird, and so you got to come fix it. I don't know what he's wanting me to do, but he sets up lunch, and so we're supposed to meet in lunch. So we're in the lobby of some big office building where they work, and there is a woman across the lobby who's dressed in kind of an earthy way, whatever that means. But my friend doesn't show up, So finally, after a while, I go, that dog, he abandoned us. And so I walk over and introduce myself to the woman. And I said, should we have some lunch? And she goes, yeah, let's do it. So we sat down and we started eating. She was eating some vegetarian delight, and I was eating some ribs or some animal flesh of some sort, So, but she's doing most of the talking. And she's going on and on about the life in her witch's coven. She's a member of Wicca and so on. And especially about the way they approach questions of truth and morality. And it's basically a live and let live society, very tolerant, very morally relativistic and so on. And I'm just kind of logging this in while I'm eating. And finally she goes, I've been talking for so long. I want to give you a chance. I mean, what do you think about what I've said? And I go, well, I'm curious. What do the people, when you gather together and you have discussions, what do they say about the Holocaust? That's all I said. I was looking across the table, and it was as if her worldview was collapsing before my eyes. It's going boom, 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 and but she just didn't know what to even think about that. I mean, there are certain things that are wrong, and I brought up something that she knew was wrong, but she just didn't know how to address it coming from where she was. Well, she was very attentive to other things that I had to say after that because she realized she was in a bit of trouble in that, but I'd handled it through listening ears and a lot of kindness. And so so the dialogue ended up going very well the rest of that lunch and carrying on afterwards.
Yeah. Wow. People are not used to being listened to nowadays, especially with Christians, unfortunately. There's this perception, and then sometimes it's because of people's actual experiences, that as soon as they say something, the Christian wants to correct them, right? And a lot of people who are new to apologetics will oftentimes feel like, now I have to defend the entire contents of the whole Christian worldview because somebody just said something I disagree with. But if we'll just turn our truth meter down for a minute and not off, but just save it, just keep it back there, gather that intel. Daryl Bach calls it getting a spiritual GPS on somebody to find out where they're coming from. I think that, one, it's just very attractive. Two, it does give you that intel, like Craig said. And what Craig was talking about was pushing this person's existential sore spot. It's like there's love, there's character, but then there's that challenge. But the challenge comes in the context of that relationship. If you like this, hit the like button and check out the rest of our conversation on the table, where we discuss issues of God and culture.